Welcome to the channel. Probably not what you're expecting when you jump onto a Gnostic channel to see someone riding a dirt bike talking about Gnostics. But I thought, what better way to do an introductory to the channel and what we're about while I'm getting my sanity back by going for a ride on the bike. This is my way of getting a bit of my sanity back from the week, what's left of it anyway, and yeah, killing two birds with one stone really. Do the intro video, which I've been getting in trouble for not doing, and going for a ride at the same time. So Gnostics, what we're going to be covering on the channel. Why does it exist? Well, the channel exists because I tend to like to write things down, and I did that with a lot of my research in other areas, which I'll discuss in another video. And this time I thought, well, it's probably easier to put it in a video. Well, easier for you, not easier for me, to go through different Gnostic teachings, different ways of looking at things. It just seems to make more sense. And really the channel came about because I was sick and tired of seeing all this Gnostic teachings, and if I could use quotes, I would be using air quotes right now, where they're just AI generated videos with no thought. Someone's just asked AI, hey, I want to do a video on this, gets AI to create the video, the visualization of the video, and the text without any research, without any research or any knowledge on the topic, purely just for clicks, views, to make money out of YouTube. And look, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. And if some of those videos do help some people, fantastic. But I just want it to be a bit more real. I don't have a script in front of me. I have dirt road in front of me at the moment. I will do some videos at my desk and have some pretty graphics on the screen for you, mainly to help me explain some stuff. But this video, why not do it on the bike? So that's why the channel started. My research into Gnostics and my path, my learning, my journey has been going on for a number of years now, and it's really opened my mind to a lot of things, and I can see things in a different way now, a bit more clearer, which is fantastic. And I just had a chat with my wife last night about it because my wife and I, we chat about everything, and we are the last two people you'd ever want to watch a documentary with, because bouncy. A 20-minute documentary, it would probably take us an hour or two to watch, purely because we have the laptops out researching stuff, verifying stuff, and then questioning it, and then we'll pause the video and start talking about it and how that affects other research that we've done and our opinions on different things. We're nerds. That's probably the easiest way to put it. So we talk about this stuff a lot. Obviously, we're both right into it. And I said to her, well, look, I've started to apply the Gnostics from a logical point of view, because I was concerned, maybe I'm going to turn into a tree hugger and start hugging trees and crystals. And that may seem a bit harsh to people that do that. If that's what you do, good on you. That's your release, that's fine. But I needed to put logic into what I was learning. And so I set aside the spiritual journey and purely looked at it from a logical sense. And I'm talking about here the 7 levels of consciousness. And you apply logic to it and it's still the same outcome. And that's, I guess, the beauty of it, and I guess that's how you know you're on the right path. Let me open this gate. So, I thought I'd bring some logic to it, and the logic works. And I've been using the logic for years as well in my professional life as well as my personal life. And I'd say in my professional life, I've been using the Gnostic teachings and logic for a lot longer than I've been researching Gnostic text and Gnostic teachings. And it's amazing when you look back at things you've done in your life and things that you apply and how you approach things, when you start studying Gnostics and realise it was Gnostics all along. So it's crazy. You don't have to look at Gnostic teachings purely as a spiritual journey, although there's no way of avoiding it. The outcome is that. Applying pure logic to the teachings will probably help a lot of people understand it a bit more and continue their path. So in the channel we're going to go through a lot of symbolism and how those symbols actually apply to real world. They're not just pretty decorations or drawings that hang on a wall. They're actual tools, and there's ways to use them to help you understand in your learning path. And then once you understand that, you don't need those symbols anymore as a learning aid, more as a reminder. So then you can just look at it. You can have a painting on the wall of a particular symbol that's meaningful to you, that's helped you in your journey, to remind you, to help balance yourself and come back to where you should be, because we all have these pulls that pull us back to our old ways, and the symbolisms can help you just as a quick reminder. And I have a token that I use and teach with people within a Gnostic school that I'm a part of, and it helps. But we can go into all of that in the actual videos where we're teaching it all. Let me get around this corner. You never know what's around this bend. More dirt. Who would have thought? So, yeah, the journey is insane. It really is. And honestly, once you get to a certain level, and I'd say, look, when you get to level 4 in the 7 levels of consciousness, you can't go back. You can think you are going back and try to give up, but you just can't. You just see things in a different way. Maintaining a level is a different story altogether. And when I say level 4, it's not hard to attain. It's you've got to get over a hump, and then it's not very hard, and it's not much of a long journey. Depends on how long you get trapped at level 3, and that is a real big trap there. And I did get trapped in level 3 for probably a year. And essentially, we'll go through all the different levels, but to explain what I'm talking about, level 3 is, you know you're in level 3 when you've got that excitement, and maybe a lot of people watching this video now are at that point. You're digging for information, you're buying all these books, you're watching all these YouTube channels, and you're excited. You're just so motivated, you're geeking out, your inner nerd is coming out, and you're just trying to find as much knowledge as you can, and much information as you can. That's level 3. And that is a trap in itself, because you know you've gotten to level 4 when you have had enough. You're just at the point where you're like, well, what's the point? Whoop-de-doo, another symbol. Oh yeah, another saying, who cares? Oh, another scripture. What's the point? That's when you know you're at level 4, and that's when you need to start applying what you've found. That is level 4, and the applying part is challenging. And then once you've stopped, not stopped applying, you don't have to actively try to apply. It's just second nature. That's when you've hit level 5. So I would say there's no hard line to say, boom, you've smacked into level 4, or you've opened the gate, so to speak, to level 4. You just appear there, and you'll just appear in level 5, and you'll have pulls that pull you back to the previous level. Oh, let's see how rough this is going to be. So that's what I'm talking about with the pulls. Why not go through the water? You get pulled back, and there's distractions, and in this area there are a lot of distractions because there's so many symbols, there's so much knowledge, there's so many different ways of looking at things. But at some point you have to start applying it to your life. You need to accept the fact that, yeah, this all has meaning, but how do I use that? And that's what I'm finding, because I am a nerd and I love research, but I have toned down my research a lot now because I've just done so much. It's ridiculous. We'll go through in another video all the different things that I've read. Probably not in one video because it'll take too long. Let me just get through this bit because it seems a little bit rough. There we go. Right. But yeah, Gnostics, you can apply it from a logical sense. And you're going to end up with a spiritual journey anyway. Let me get this camera out of the sun. So I'm pretty sure you're not going to enjoy looking at just the sun. So that's what we're going to be covering in the channel. What the Gnostics are, well, we've just done that, sort of. And where they come from, the real focus is on the teachings and then how to apply it. I don't see the sense of me doing videos on just reading different scripture without explaining how that actually applies in the real world. So that's what we're going to be doing, how to apply it and start your journey. For those that have already started, how to continue it. And for those that know more about it than me, please teach me. Put stuff in the comments. I'm sure I'm going to be saying things that not everyone's going to agree with, and that's fine. It's part of life. But yeah, we really want to get to the core, what things mean, and how to decipher them. If you are new to Gnostics, and you sort of maybe at, say, level 3 of consciousness, and you're geeking out on all the information, you're trying to find as much as you can, I do have a website with the Nag Hammadi scriptures on it and some biblical texts on there as well, so you can go through and search, and I've made it so you can compare things as well. So pull up a bit of biblical scripture and compare it to Nag Hammadi scriptures. This is not a religion. Honestly, a religion is a distraction to this. I'm not saying, look, if you're a person of faith of any religion, to leave that religion. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's got to be separate to your Gnostic journey. And I will tell you though, your religion will be challenged, not by anyone else, by you. And you need to be aware of that. Now, you may come out of it even stronger belief of your religion. Cool. You may have more questions about your religion, and that's fine as well. And that's part of the evolution you're going to go through internally. External evolution, when you want to talk about it, and whether you believe in evolution or not, whether fish came out of the water and started walking, it's irrelevant. It's another distraction. But to use that as an analogy, if you look at the mud skippers, I think they are, the fish that, though, come out of the water and they do skip along the mud, hence the name mud skipper, the external evolution they'd have to go through to do that is not painful. They're just going to be born, different generations born to adapt a bit differently. But when it comes to internal evolution, it is hard because it's your mind. And the way that you've been raised, the way that things have been taught to you, what's been drilled into you to be classed as fact, is challenged. And that's when you know you're doing it right. Whenever you feel challenged in your religion or you feel challenged in the way you think, you're doing it right. It's not you doing anything wrong. It means you're doing it right, because everything you do in life, everything you believe, everything, the way that you act, needs to be challenged. Otherwise, you're not really having an internal reflection or evolution. And believe me, the more you dig into it, the more honest you are about it, you can't avoid it. And you're not kidding anyone. You can jump in the comments and say, oh, that's all a load of crap and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. You're only fooling yourself. That's not an issue. You've really got to sit down and look at yourself. And one way of doing that is just look in the mirror. Honestly. The mirror's there. Use it. That is probably the most powerful symbol in Gnostic teachings and other societies as well, mystic schools and stuff like that. The mirror is the most important tool. Look in the mirror. Sit down, get a mirror, look into it. Because it's not every day you get to see your own worst enemy. And that is the harsh reality of it. You are your own worst enemy, and you need to understand that. Because you're also the most loyal friend you'll ever have as well. So you need to look in the mirror. You need to identify the side of you that's lying to you, the side of you that's holding you back, and start working on that. And we'll go into ways to actually do that. It's one thing to say it, but actually doing is the hard part. If you can get through that, then you can proceed. That's it's a massive thing, and I can't stress it enough. But yeah, look into the mirror. Remove vanity, pride, and ego, and what's left? If you're still thinking about money and building a very big house, well, you haven't done it. You're not being honest with yourself. You strip away vanity, pride, and ego, money's not a thing. Money doesn't exist. What exists is you, and what you're really passionate about, and who the real you is. So, oh, I closed this gate and someone else has just left it open, but I didn't pass anyone on the way down. How does that work? I closed it, right? I did. Okay. I jump on the motorbike to get my sanity back, but things like that make me question my sanity. Anyway, mirror. First powerful tool you need to master. Don't even bother trying to proceed any further until you've looked yourself in the mirror and ask those questions, who you really are. Nothing's wrong, particularly if you're level 3, you're going to do research. You want to find and absorb as much as you can, and that's cool. But when you get to a point where you're starting to apply it, that mirror is your friend and your enemy. And when you start looking into it and you really see the real you can proceed. And that's when the real questions start to come in. What you thought was important in your life is not important. So yeah, that's the channel. That's what we're doing. If you think you're going to like it, cool, keep watching. Do the whole like and subscribe thing. You'll get a ping whenever there's a new video. I'm not doing this because I need money or I want money or any of that kind of stuff. I couldn't give a hoot. The whole like and subscribe, liking gets it out there to more people apparently, and subscribing you get a ping to say there's a new video. If you don't want to do that, don't do that. Has zero effect on me, to be bluntly honest with you. Like I said, I couldn't care less about making any money out of this channel. That's not the reason I'm doing it. It is probably going to cost me more money than anything if it ever makes any anyway. The website is there. For those that are interested, I do have a book out called The Gentle Ascent. That goes through the 7 levels of consciousness. If you're not ready for it, don't buy it. Seriously, there's no point. If you're at the point of where you want to apply it, cool. And if you're geeking out, you're at level 3 and you're geeking out, you look at it, but it's not going to really help you until you're at the point where you are going to start applying it, because that's what it's there for, to teach you applying it and to help you when you get those pulls that take you back to the previous level, where your old self comes back into play. And that is an ongoing battle for a little bit, not forever, but just for a little bit. It'll be an ongoing battle, and you've got to identify that. So yeah, bit of information there for you. I'll let you, well, you'll know when the next video comes out when you look at it. The website will actually also have the videos on there as well. And like I said, I've got the Nag Hammadi scriptures on there, so they're searchable. And the biblical text there as well, for people to read through, that want to read through, that want to sort of study some of that stuff. And I will say to you, the biblical text, it's allegory. You can't just rely on what's in the Bible. You need to be reading Gnostic texts as well to decipher it, because that's sort of a massive eye-opener, the Gnostics, the Gnostic texts. So the Book of Thomas, the Book of Mary, Book of James, there's heaps. But we're going to go through each of those different books. We won't do a whole book in one video unless it's a really short one. because we're going to start drilling down into what each word means. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it, hopefully you got something out of it. Not all of them are going to be, all the videos are going to be done on my motorbike. They will be, some of them will be me sat at my desk. The first few videos will be on the motorbike because I'm going to do a few videos today, right now. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.